Hi, it's Cheryl for Bears Pampered Stampers. Let's take a quick look at a new product in the store. I thought I would keep this one separate because it needs a little splaining. You know, some of them are like that. This is the Sizzix Stencil and Stamp tool. Very, very cool tool that can be used for a number of things. If you like those layered stencils, it's perfect for that. It's a great stamping platform, so you have some choices with it. It is kind of a big little monster here. So I'm showing you the box right this second. I can't get it all on camera because it's pretty large, but the box is kind of important. The box gives you step-by-step instructions on how to use it, and yes, it's that easy. It's not a difficult tool to use at all. So you'll want to keep this around so you can refer to it, especially if you don't use it very often. You might forget some of these things. Here's the tool itself. It's pretty straightforward. I think it's like 10 by 14 is its measurement or something like that. It looks very much like a Tim Holtz stamp platform, although it is not. It has a lid that opens, that gets you to the inside, which is smooth. You can see that there's no raised edges on this, which means you can use it with almost any size paper. So again, there's our hinged lid. I want to show you something first here. First of all, the lid comes off. So when you have limited area to use, you don't have to have this big lid kicking around. I'm going to set it aside for right now because we don't need it for the first couple of minutes here. Now it also comes with an 8.5 by 11 double-sided sticky grid. You've seen Melissa use these with various things, with stamping platforms, with stenciling, and that sort of thing. Right now, it's got liners on both sides. First thing you're gonna do is you're gonna remove one of the sides of layers. You're gonna carefully lay it down in here. Then you'll remove the second liner. Set that liner aside, but don't discard it because you want to put it back on to keep your sticky surface sticky and free of debris and that sort of thing. It also comes with an instruction sheet. There it is. It's in 4 or 5 different languages. The English parts of it are right here and right here. So there's not a lot of instruction. You really don't need it. There's pictures that help to identify the part. Again, for the most part, this is about showing it in enough different languages that Sizzix can sell it internationally. Another piece that is included with it that's important is this green piece. This is what we use to put the stencils on. I hadn't pulled this out of the plastic yet, but I'm gonna go ahead and do that so I can show you how easy it is to install. Right now, we're gonna pretend stencil. So we've got these prongs up here. This is where the lid goes down. This just fits wherever you want it here. It can go further up, it can go further down, it can go from side to side, whatever is convenient for you. So again, think about this more in terms of not your standard stenciling something for a card, although it could be. Think about it, maybe you're doing a layout and you care about where it fits on your 12 by 12 paper, or even bigger potentially. So again, you can use this to set it up and figure out where you want this to be. Now, if you have a Sizzix layered stencil, they will have little holes in the top that fit right over these pegs here. And I'm going to lift this up so you can see them easily. The pegs hold the stencil in place and keep it from moving. The sticky grid down here is going to hold your cardstock in place and keep it from moving. So what you end up with is a system that works very well for precision registration of these fussy little stencils. Now, what if you have a stencil that's not Sizzix, that doesn't have the holes? What am I going to do? Good news is there's an adapter tool. I'm not sure Melissa has it in right now, but let her know if you want it. She can get that in. It's just a little plastic piece that has adhesive on it. You fit it on your stencils, whether they're single or layered stencils, and then they too will fit the pegs. It means in the middle of stenciling, I can lift up my stencil and I can put it back with confidence and know it's exactly where it goes and that it will match up exactly, and I won't see any obvious places where I didn't quite get it lined up. So between the sticky grid, which I'm not exposing here, and these little pegs to hold the stencil, you've got a great system that holds everything in place, does what you need it to do. You can use this for stenciling with inks, for using the wet media, the stencil pastes and things like that. You can use it with acrylic paints. You can use it with almost anything you can stencil with. When your adhesive is exposed, you may want to put some scratch paper over the top of it just to protect it from stray stuff, because you will reuse the sticky grid again and again. Eventually it will have to be replaced, but they do sell these large sheets of the sticky grid so that you can take the old one off, put the new one on. It's very low tack. It's not going to grab your paper or anything like that, and you're good to go. I wish I had a stencil that was Sizzix and I could show you exactly how it works, but again, the stencils fit on the pegs, and so you just do them in number order. You're used to doing layering stencils by now, and when you're done with that, you end up with your image. Everything's right where it belongs. Now, when you're ready to store it, you want to, at a minimum, put your liner sheet back over the sticky grid. If you're just stopping temporarily, put your lid back on and close the cover down. But if you're stopping overnight, go ahead and do that. This, you can see I've got, well, you can't see because I'm off camera. You've got some little pegs here that can also be used to hold on to this piece for storage. So that's kind of, oops, I got it on one, but not the other. I didn't get it on one. I failed. What can I say? But you can use that for easy storage. My lid's going to go on super easy. I don't know how well I can show you this on camera because my camera's pretty close to this in order for you to see it, but you just drop it down and it's good to go. So that's how you store it. Super, super easy. That's the stenciling piece of it. Now, I said it was a stamp and stencil tool. It also works as a stamp platform, the same as your Misty does, or your Tim Holtz stamp platform, or whatever brand you have. So for that, you don't want this piece. This isn't going to do you any good. You're going to use your sticky grid to hold your cardstock in place. You'll lift the lid, place your cardstock wherever it goes in here on the sticky grid, sticky paper, and then place your stamp, pick it up, and it works like any other stamp press. It's a nice big size. So if you've been struggling, for example, maybe you do some scrapbooks, but not enough to justify the giant Misty, This one is a little more popularly priced, shall I put it that way? So you can look at that as a potential. Again, you can use it for stamping big areas. You can use a paper as big as you want because you've got all open edges here. So nothing is going to get in the way. So it's got a lot of potential. There's some good videos out on it. Again, in the US, we don't have a lot of the Sizzix stencils, so there's not a lot right now that have this little peg system incorporated, but that's why you use the adapter. The adapter will get you to the same place. The adapter is really easy to install. Again, it's plastic, it's sticky on one side. And I'm just going to take this lid off again so I can show you on camera. You'll set this in there, and there's a Sizzix logo there, so that always tells me which side goes up, and it goes out this way toward the other Sizzix, which is down here. Again, it can go here, it can go here, it can go here, it can go here, here, here. You got tons of choices, but you're just going to set it up somewhere. You're going to put your adapter over the pegs here, expose the adhesive, then you can lay your stencil down and it'll attach to that adhesive, which is reusable, by the way, and you're good to go. So I think it comes in packs of 10 maybe, or something like that, but it is a way that you can use this stamp and stencil tool without having the specific Sizzix stencils. Works super, super well. Again, it's just a thought. If you're struggling with some of these things, it is a bigger tool, so that's probably a negative here, because a lot of us don't have space to hold all of those things. But again, when you're stenciling, don't need the lid. When you're stamping, do need the lid. There's two different sides on stamping, excuse me. One, I believe, works for clear stamps and the other cling. I think I have that right, but it's gridded out. The sticky stuff is gridded too, so that you can find what you need to do. Life's good. There are some good videos from Sizzix on how to use this thing. Again, Pete Hughes is a Sizzix representative. He has some very good demos on how to stencil with it, as well as how to stamp with it. If you have questions about it, just take a look at those. They're not very long, maybe half an hour or something like that, but it should answer your questions about why you might need the tool. I guess the one other thing that I'll show you is the back side here has the foam on it, so that will help it to stay on the surface and not go sliding around on you, which is always nice as well. So again, it's the Sizzix Stamp and Stencil tool. Again, if y'all like your layered stencils, this is a good investment. If you've been struggling with your stamp platform not being quite big enough, a good investment for that reason. So it can do a lot of things for you. Thanks for watching. Bye.